Hi all, good morning. Today here I'm going to show you how to design a portable speaker for your integrated project. Before I start, let me show you a sample design that I created, which I'm going to show you today in this video. So let's just wait for it to get loaded. Okay, so here is a design that I created earlier. So if you can see, this particular part is in an angle, right? It's not straight. So we need to have a plane at an angle to create this particular part, and these remaining will follow later on. So if you can see from this, sorry, okay, if you can see from here, this particular thing is a rectangle where I used fillet to make the ends in a curved position. So I will do all the steps properly to create this design. This is just for your practice, and you will have to do your own design whichever you drew on the final sketch. Alright, so you will have to create a similar design to your final sketch using the software. This is just to help you to get an idea on how to create a portable speaker. Alright, so before we start, okay, let's just go to the show data panel and create a new project. Okay, that in that particular project is where you're going to save your files. So I click the new project and I type in create 12 portable speaker. Okay, so I have created the new project called create 12 portable speaker, and that's where I'm going to save all the files now. So I will hide the data panel for now. I go to the file, create new design, and before we start, as I said earlier, I need a plane at an angle. So what I do is I go to the construct. Okay, so I click on construct plane at an angle. Okay, so I click plane at an angle. See, so when you click plane at an angle, you can't choose these planes. These are not on an angle. It's perpendicular, or it's either vertical or horizontal. So when you need a plane at an angle, you either choose the blue line or the green line or the red line. As you can see here, the blue line is the Z axis, the green line is the Y axis, and the red line is the X axis. So I choose the blue line. Okay, I click on the blue line and then I go to front face so that I can choose the proper angle I need. If I keep rotating, you can see that difference, right? The plane is actually rotating. So I go here and I type in -60. So that's what I need for this particular design. So I go click OK. So if I zoom in and go to the home, so the plane is ready here. So I click on the plane and then I go to sketch because I need a rectangle option to create a square. Okay, so I go to the rectangle, I choose center. We have 2-point rectangle, 3-point rectangle, and center rectangle. Because I need to create a square using the rectangle option, I'm going to choose the center rectangle. So I click on the center rectangle. So I start from the origin, which is the 0, 0, 0 point. Okay, so I click there and then I type in the required measurement I need. So first, as you can see, okay, the blue highlighted is the part that I'm going to type in first. So I am typing 110 millimeter. Okay, and then I press the tab on the keyboard so that without moving the cursor of the mouse, it automatically goes to the next length. Okay, I press the tab option in the keyboard and then I type in 110. So both sides now have 110 millimeter square. Yeah, I click enter, so my square is done. So 110 by 110. Now I'm going to create another rectangle or a square so that I can get a shape like this to extrude. Okay, so I go back to the design, I click sketch rectangle, center rectangle, I click at the same origin and then I type in the required. So I'm going to create a rectangle or a square 10 millimeter less than the first one. So 100, tab I press and then 100 again. I have another rectangle 10 millimeter. I have another square or a rectangle 10 millimeter less than the previous one. Okay, so if you can see now I can actually extrude this part if I actually need it. Now I click on the sketch and I need to fillet the sharp edges, right? So I go to the fillet, I choose the lines that I need to fillet. So I choose this and then I type in 25. So that's a millimeter or the fillet dimension, I mean measurement I need to do on the lines. Now I keep clicking on the edges that I want to do fillet on. So I click this one and then I click this one. So you can see it's automatically 25. Once I press 25, don't press enter, okay? Type in 25 and then start clicking on the different points. If you press enter, you will have to go to sketch again and then choose the fillet option. So I go on clicking the edges that I need to do the fillet. Even the outer part, I'm going to do the same measurement of 25 millimeter fillets. So my design is almost done. So I click enter. Now the curve of the rectangle or the square is done. Now I need a circle in between so I can actually put in my speaker. So before you design, make sure that we have a speaker, or you can actually create anything more than, let's say, 75 millimeters. So the minimum space you require to put the speaker is 75 millimeter. So I'm gonna go to sketch, circle, and then I choose center diameter circle. So I click here. Now I need to choose the center that I need to actually place the circle. So I click here, that's my center. Then I type in 80 millimeters, anything more than 75. I prefer something around 75 and 85. So even if there is a small gap, we can use something, some glue or some kind of particle to actually fix the speaker onto the design, right? So I could type in 80 and then press enter. So my circle is almost done. I press enter again. So see, this is my circle there. Now I click the home button. We have the design almost done. So what we require to do now is to extrude these parts, right? So I go to create, extrude. So I choose this particular part, okay? I'm choosing this profile and then I type in around 15 millimeter. I need it extruded 15 millimeter and then I press enter. When I pressed enter, see the sketch that I had earlier is gone. If you see here, the sketch is actually shown, the yellow one, but you can see the arrow mark here. If you go inside, see this is hidden now. Now I need to show it back, right? Unhide it. So I click the bulb again, so it shows yellow and the sketches are shown back. So I go to create again, extrude. Now I need this part a bit extruded, this particular profile, okay? So I click on this profile, I choose that, and then I type in anything less than 15. For example, I'm going to do the half of what I extruded earlier, so I type in 7.5, then I click enter. So if you zoom in, this pathway is actually extruded more than this one, which is what I actually require. So that is done. Now I need to actually have a circle on the back so I can loft it. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is go to construct offset plane. Okay, if you look at the origin here, see, you have 1 2 3 planes, right? This is the X and Z plane because this is X and this is the red is X and the blue is Z or Z. It is XZ plane, this is XY plane, this is ZY plane. So what my circle is going to be here, so I can loft from this path to this one. So having the circle over here, I'm going to choose this particular plane. I click on that plane and then I take it back. Keep in mind that the maximum distance, maximum length of the shape that we can print is 140 millimeter, right? So I'm going to take it only 90 millimeter to the back. Okay, so I take it 90 millimeter to the back and then I press enter. So my plane is over here now. Okay, so then I go back, then I choose this plane, then I click sketch and a circle. So on this plane, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, okay, so what I'm going to do is, sorry, I got a bit, so let's check over there. So let me see, sketches, origin, bodies, happened to? So the plane I actually chose earlier is gone now. Offset plane again. Alright, I'm going to choose this plane, take it to the back, minus 90. Then I press enter. I click on the circle, sketch, circle, center diameter circle. Then I choose the plane I need to actually do the design on. So that's my plane. And then start from the center. Alright, so I click on the center and then I type in the required dimension. For me, I need around, let's say, 65. Okay, so I'm gonna go for 65 millimeter. Then I press enter, enter again. So click the home button. See, my circle is created there. Make sure your center point is this one, not here, but this where the lines actually intersect. Okay, so I have created my circle over there. Now I click stop sketch and then I go to form, okay, sculpt mode. So I click on this particular option so that I go to the sculpt mode. What I do now here is I go to the back view or the rear view. Okay, so I go to create, I choose the loft option and then I click on the, so we have to choose, oh, sorry, we have to choose two profiles over here. The first profile will be the circle on the back, so I choose that one. So you can see here this is named as profile 1, or here you can see it. Now I'm going to loft this circle to this path over here, right? So I'm going to choose the extruder path, so it's going to be this one. Now it's profile 2 and I keep clicking the profile 2 to complete the whole line. So I keep clicking, so you can see it's almost here, but then you see there is a bit of mistake on the shape, right? Well, that's because, see, over here you can find two options, right? Length spacing, width spacing, and the number of faces. For the length spacing, I'm going to put around, let's say, 10. So you can see this one, okay, this number of faces over here, see, this increased to 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. On the width spacing, what I'm going to do is instead of 8, I'm going to put 24. See, now it's getting, you can put any number and the best suitable one for the shape you can choose it. Okay, so I take 24 and then I click OK. So if you see here, now the shape actually matches with the front part of the speaker, right? So that's almost done. Okay, now what I do is, now I need to, if you look from the back, okay, this design, okay, is not thick. See, this is just a layer, right? I need it a bit thick. So what I do is I go to modify, I click on thicken. Okay, thicken over here, I click on that and then I choose this part. Okay, this part. So I click on this one. So you can enter the measurements over here. If I see, it's 0 0 right now. If I actually put 2, which is actually meaning plus 2, let's say I put 2, that actually means plus 2, it thickens to the outside. Okay, we actually have a shape which is similar to the front part and we don't want it to be thickened outside. Instead, what I'm going to do is I type in -2 millimeter, which means it will thicken inside the particular shape instead of doing outside, so we can actually manage the space. I'm going to type in -2 so it gets thickened inside. Okay, and then I click enter. So if you look properly, now it's actually thickened inside and the outside part is aligned with is actually aligned with the front part of the speaker. So once that is done, now this part is actually closed, open, yeah, so we need to close it. So what I'm gonna do here is I go to the sketches. See, this is hidden, right? If I click on the sketch, I can actually view the sketch over here. I click on the sketch and then what I do is I extrude it. So if I extrude it inside or outside, okay, but it's not closed. Okay, sorry, we need to actually go back to the finish form. Okay, let's go back to finish form and then from here we can extrude the path. So I click on this one. If I extrude inside, it actually cuts the speaker, right? See, if it shows red, meaning it will cut the speaker into that shape. Instead I'm gonna pull it outside a bit. Let's say instead of -30 or -40, I'm just gonna put -5. So I just need an extra 5 mm on the back, rear back. Okay, over here if you can see the operation, it's a new body. If you actually put in new body, it will be two separate pieces. The middle part will be one, and then this will be one part, and this rear end will be another part. Instead we need it to be joined, so I click on this option. I can see join, cut, intersect. Okay, so I will click this as a join. Okay, I will join the two parts. So and then once I choose the join operation, this rear part will be joined to the middle one. Then I click OK. So it's actually joined to this one. Now our speaker is almost done. See? Okay. Keep in mind that when we print, the front part will not be actually joined to the back part, because we need actually to put the electronic circuit inside the speaker along with the speaker itself, right? So we will print, when we print it, this front part, okay, this front part will be separate from this rear part. Okay, we'll print it as two files. Okay, so that is now done. Now we need to actually give color and do the final material adjustment, everything. So what I do is I go back to the, okay, now what I do is I go back to the render model. Okay, this is where we actually give the color and appearance to the design. Okay, let's hide this origin. We don't need these origins, so I just, okay, and I'm gonna hide the sketches now because I don't need it anymore. Okay, now we are almost done with the design. Now if you actually orbit it around, you can see it here, right? Okay, cool. So what I do is I go to the appearance. So once I go to the appearance, okay, you have two options called bodies, faces, right? If I go with the bodies, see, and I move the cursor, I have this part, I have this part, this part, this part. So when I want to put color on the rear part, it actually gives the color to the middle part even. So instead of that, what can we do here is, let's go to whatever material or the color I need. Let's say mine is portable speaker, right? So I'm gonna go with plastic. Okay, if I go with plastic, we have different options. Transparent, okay, transparent, which means it's clear inside, you can see from outside what's inside. Yeah, translucent is almost clear, it's not that clear, but you can see a bit of it, but in a blurred vision. Opaque means you can't see anything at all inside. So I'm gonna go with opaque. Okay, I like black, I like white, I like blue, and I like red as well. So my design would be a mixture of all these colors most probably, but for now I'll go for a change. Okay, let's instead go for black. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I actually choose, sorry, if I actually choose the bodies components, I'll have to keep the color to the wall part. Instead I go for the faces, which means I can choose particular faces which I need to color on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose this black, and I'm going to put, okay, wherever you want, over here, over here, over here. Okay, I will go back to bodies. I think that's better. I choose this one. See, now I choose the black, everything is black here, right? Now if I want to make a bit of changes, I go back to faces and I choose, let's say blue. I'm going to play with the blue for a while. I choose the blue here, and I need to put blue inside over here as well. So it's blue here now, and the outside is black. Cool. And then what I'm gonna do is, now I'm gonna choose with the body, and then similarly I want the back, right? So what I'm gonna do here is, this part I need it as blue, this part I need as black. So I go back to those faces, I choose the blue, I put it here, and this part is blue, that's glossy black. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with the black and I'm gonna put it over here. So this is blue, the edge is black, the edge is black, inside it's blue. Cool. Now I need to put a color for the middle part. I can either put, let's say for a change I will go for transparent one. Instead of opaque I go for the transparent. I choose any color that I need. Let's choose amber. I put it in the middle. Okay, so I can actually, if I rotate, I can see what's inside, see through, right? If you want to change it, you can actually choose another material. Let's go plastic opaque, or let's go for texture. If you want, you have different types. I'll go for other. We have different materials over here as well. Paper, rubber, wax. I'm gonna go for carbon fiber. I just choose carbon fiber and put it here. Let it load. Now I have a different design, right? Okay. And then I click the menu button, I mean home button, and I have to remove the orbit. Click close. Now I have the design. If I want to put any image or any designs that I have saved earlier, I just go to the decal. I go to the decal and I choose the image that I want to put on top of the speaker. So I go here. I have actually a design saved here called SD. So I choose that. I open and I choose where I want it. I click on there. So the image actually comes there, right? So what I do here is now I'm going to rotate a bit to the way I need it, and then I'm going to move around. Okay, if I want it smaller, I can do this, and I can rotate it furthermore if I need it to. Or if I want that here, let's say here, see, if I want it over here, I can do that as well. So it's over there. My design is done now. This is just for the visual. When you 3D print it, it's not going to come. Okay, it's just for the visual representation. That's all it is. Now if I want to render, I click on the render option. Okay, but it says I have to save my design. So what I do is I click on the save. Then I need to choose grade 12 portable speaker, right? So portable speaker 1. I saved my design as portable speaker 1. It's actually great. Now I go to render. It's still saved. I mean getting saved. You can see the saving option over here. Once it is done, let's just see if it's done. Yeah, it's done. So we can render the images. Rendering actually takes a bit of time to get the images into crystal clear, so let's just wait for it. Okay, now we can actually choose what kind of ratio you need. For example, image size, you can choose how much size you need it to. For example, I needed to print, I go for something like 4 by 6, let's say, and then I'm going to go for PNG lossless, which means I need a very less amount of loss. I need the best possible image. So I just click on the render. See, it takes less than 820 minutes, right? So it's starting to render. It will take a bit of time. Okay, so I'm gonna pause for a while. Once it is done rendering, I will play it back. It's taking quite a while to get it rendered, like if it takes too long and you don't have enough time to get it, just click capture image and you can choose custom and you can type in the width and height you want, or maybe you can choose what kind of size you need. For example, I'm gonna go for 1284 by 1024 and then I click OK. So it's going to be saved on the same folder. Okay, so let's see how it's getting saved. I click on the save and I go back to my data panel. It must be getting saved over here. So it's uploading progress over here. So let's see if it's getting saved. See, if you can see here, it's actually almost saved. Let's see, double click it and see if it can open. So the picture is actually loading, the one I saved. If you can see here, it's getting loaded. So this is what I saved earlier. It's not completely loaded, or is it? I'm not sure. Okay, so it's not completely loaded, so I think it was something wrong with the picture or something. Let's try say, it's actually complete picture. I think it still needs to be loaded. Let's see if we can download it. So as you can see, the picture has been saved. So this is what I actually needed to do in the final design, is you sketch it. Like at the end of the project there is a place where you have to produce your rendered or 3D model fusion design. So you can print this and stick it, maybe print from different angles. For example, one does one and then maybe another one from here or something like that. Okay, so good luck.